Alex leaned closer to Aislinn and lowered his voice. "Why do you have to go?" "I don't know." She shrugged and handed him the paper. "It doesn't say why. It just says I have to." Alex skimmed the paper over, then crumbled it into a ball and tossed it on the floor. It brushed down Nina Monroe's long blonde hair during the downfall, and she turned around, her eyebrows furrowed as she ran her fingers through her hair. Aislinn flashed an apologetic look at her and scooped up the ball of paper from off the floor. "Geez, Alex," she said, smoothing out the creases. "You really need to stop freaking out about the tiniest things." Alex rolled his eyes. "And you need to stop butting into my business." Aislinn pointed her finger at him as she got to her feet. "Be nice while I'm gone. I mean it." She grabbed her phone and trotted down the stairs, the curls of her golden blonde hair swinging across her back. Just like that, a tension-filled bubble formed around Alex and me. Electric sparks danced all over my skin. My heart was like a jackhammer in my chest, feeding my already growing concern of how much more my heart could take before it would explode. I needed to concentrate on something else. I plucked a card from the deck and tried to center my attention on the gold dots forming the constellation. Right away, I knew it was Andromeda, but still flipped the card over to check the answer. Yep, Andromeda, printed in bold black letters on the back. I slipped it underneath the bottom of the deck, took another card from the top, and stared at the set of gold dots. This one was a little bit trickier, which was a good thing because figuring out the answer took more of my attention. I could feel my heart rate slowing down and my body relaxing. But then Alex began tapping his pen on the table over and over and over again. I don't know if he was doing it just because, or if he was attempting to get under my skin. If it was the latter, then it was working. At first, the tapping noise was only mildly annoying, but the movement seemed to be stirring up more and more sparks inside me. My heart began to speed up again. My head started pounding. I massaged my temples with my fingertips, taking a deep breath before I looked up at Alex. My plan was pretty simple. I would give him a death stare until he stopped tapping his pen. I ran into a bit of a problem, though, because when I looked at him and our gazes met, my mind blanked out. I ended up just staring at him like an idiot, gaping at their celebrity crush. Alex stared back at me with this semi-intrigued, semi-panicked look on his face. What he was finding so intriguing was beyond me. The electricity? Me? Or maybe he found it interesting that he was making me feel the electricity? I always assumed it was me causing the electric sensation, but maybe I was wrong. Alex and I continued to stare each other down, like we were having a staring contest or something. Alex, for some reason, seemed to find it entertaining. The amused smile playing at his lips proved that. I was torn between wanting to slap that amused smile right off his face and leaning over and pressing my lips to his. Yeah, I know. Definitely something I should not be thinking. "Gemma? Alex?" I blinked and realized Mr. Sterling was standing beside our table, a stern expression on his face. How long had he been standing there? "Can I speak with you two in the hallway?" "Now?" he asked, but it wasn't a question that was allowed to be answered with a no. "All right," I muttered, at the same time Alex said, "Okay." Alex kept his eyes glued on me as he rose to his feet. I stood up too, and we followed Mr. Sterling down the stairs and out into the hallway. I found the situation very unsettling. The hallway was empty and silent. Mr. Sterling looked irritated. I had never been in trouble before, but I was getting the impression that this was going to be my first time. "I was wondering if there was a problem between you two?" Mr. Sterling asked. I shook my head. "No. I mean, what was I supposed to say? There's this really strange electric feeling buzzing between us, and despite the fact that Alex hates me, I can't seem to hate him back. Yeah, that wouldn't make me sound crazy at all." Mr. Sterling stared heavily at us, his attempt, I assumed, to be intimidating. The thing was, he just wasn't a very intimidating teacher. In fact, he had a reputation